Chosen ones, here are 7 hidden signs that now is the moment to embrace your courage. Feel this moment deep within you, like a quake shaking your chest, a primal tremor breaking free every ounce of doubt that has kept you from claiming the life you were destined for. This isn't a quiet whisper, it's a roar, a powerful storm of awakening urging you to stand firm in your true essence. If your heart has been beating with a sense of urgency, as though some invisible drum is calling to your spirit, then you already know. The world is calling for your courage. Don't let fear's gravity hold you back. Let it propel you into action. You, the chosen one, are being shown the way to see beyond the illusions, to break down the barriers standing in the way of your fate. If you feel that pull in your gut, like this video, subscribe and comment 77 below to signal you're ready for the transformation ahead. Chapter 1. The silent cry of your dreams. Late at night, when the world is quiet and you lay your head down to rest, something stirs in your sleep. Perhaps a vivid dream wakes you, leaving you breathless, or a subtle yet persistent feeling creeps over you that your dreams are no longer just fragments of your mind. They feel infused with meaning, offering glimpses into a reality where past, present, and an unimaginable future intertwine. If you've sensed a shift in your dreams, darker, deeper, and strangely urgent, this is your first hidden warning. Your subconscious is speaking louder now. There's a reason your dreams feel more alive, more vivid. As a chosen one, you're stepping into a heightened awareness, where the boundaries between your conscious and unconscious mind are thinning, allowing hidden truths to surface. You might dream of standing on the edge of a cliff, an immense horizon stretching before you, or you might find yourself battling unknown figures that morph into aspects of yourself you've tried to ignore. These aren't just random illusions. They are signals that you're ready. Ready to face what you've repressed and transform it into your strongest weapon. But remember, the power of these dreams doesn't lie in their literal interpretation. You don't have to decode them like puzzles. Instead, feel their energy, let them unnerve you, and then kindle your resolve night after night. If those dreams keep speaking to you in cryptic ways, don't brush them aside with a sigh of relief once morning comes. They are your allies, whispering that you are not meant for a light half-lived. If your dreams have grown sharper, more persistent, treat this as your first challenge. Answer the call. Let them remind you that what seems buried within can become a guiding star once acknowledged. The time for ignoring your innermost yearnings is gone. Now is the moment to harness the wisdom of your slumbering mind, to glean every insight hidden between the folds of night and day. When you wake, pay attention to the embers those dreams leave behind. They could be clues, keys that unlock the secret doors of your destiny. Face them with courage, for they prepare you for the next warning that waits just beyond the morning light. Chapter 2. A restless discontent with the familiar. You look around at the routine you once found comfortable, maybe a job that used to fuel your pride, friendships that felt safe, or a daily pattern that gave you a sense of stability. Now it all feels outgrown, like clothes that no longer fit. There's a gnawing impatience gnawing at the edges of your mind, a sense that something crucial is missing. This isn't mere boredom, it's your second hidden warning, a restless discontent that won't let you settle for the status quo any longer. When you realize your life's familiar rhythms fail to spark excitement, you might feel guilty or anxious. Society often praises comfort as the ultimate goal, but comfort can become a cage for a chosen one. This hush of dissatisfaction is the universe prodding you to explore new dimensions of your capabilities. It's telling you that the life you've built, while stable, may be limiting you from discovering your fullest power. The more you try to ignore that restlessness, the stronger it becomes, whispering in your ear that you're missing out on an unseen frontier. Sometimes this warning arrives as a persistent craving for change. You think about moving to a new city, starting a project that challenges your skills, or learning something that ignites your curiosity. Other times, it's a sharp pain in your chest when you do the same old tasks, an intuitive signal that you've outstayed your welcome in the realm of comfort. In either case, this discontent is both a caution and an opportunity. Stay where you are, and you risk numbing yourself back into complacency. Take a bold step forward, and you might find that courage is like a muscle. one that grows with each use. At first, the idea of leaving the familiar can feel like jumping off a cliff without a parachute. But remember, the eagle must leave the nest before it learns to fly. That restlessness you feel is the impetus you've been waiting for. It's a nudge from the cosmic plan, a gentle but firm reminder that your path doesn't end at comfort. You are called to climb higher, to see farther, to push beyond the boundaries you once assumed were permanent. Honor that call. Let the discontent blaze a trail to places you never would have discovered otherwise. And when fear tries to hold you back, remember that it's far scarier to remain trapped in a life that no longer resonates with your awakening spirit. Chapter 3. Small Signs of Synchronicity Multiply. Has it felt lately like the universe is winking at you? A song lyric that answers a question you've been asking silently. A stranger who tells you exactly what you needed to hear at the perfect moment. Numbers appearing in repeating sequences that send a chill up your spine. These coincidences have a pattern, a meaning that becomes clearer the more you pay attention. This is your third hidden warning, the multiplication of synchronicities, urging you to see that you're not imagining things. You really are on the brink of something monumental. At first, you might dismiss such occurrences as mere chance. After all, we're taught to trust only what can be measured and explained. But for the chosen ones, coincidences often serve as cosmic markers, guiding you along the path of bravery. Each tiny serendipitous encounter is a gentle nudge saying, keep going, you're on the right track. The world around you transforms into a living tapestry where every thread intersects precisely when it needs to. No detail is wasted in this grand design. You might feel a tingling sense of wonder, especially if you've always identified as logical or skeptical. Suddenly, the boundary between the ordinary and the extraordinary becomes blurred. You might find yourself pausing mid-step because something about the moment feels charged with magic, like an unseen force is pulling the strings. That sense of enchantment isn't childlike fantasy. It's your intuition waking up to the hidden currents beneath daily life. This optic and synchronicity is not merely for your amusement. It's a warning that you stand at a crossroad. The path that leads to your awakening is often subtle. It doesn't flash neon lights or announce itself with loudspeakers. Instead, it asks you to be alert, to notice the hush between your heartbeats and the gentle cues that guide your steps. If you shrug off these signs, you might drift back into a fog of routine and skepticism. But if you follow them, trusting that each point of synchronicity reveals a piece of your puzzle, you'll forge ahead with renewed courage. In these moments, you might feel as though the universe is conspiring in your favor, and perhaps, in a way, it is. This is your cue to lean in, to ask deeper questions, and to let your sense of wonder open doors you didn't even know existed. The more you accept these synchronicities, the more they flood your life. Each one an invitation to stay brave, stay curious, and stay aligned with a destiny that's far grander than anything you once believed possible. Chapter 4. The Rise of Unexpected Fears. Have you noticed fear lurking in corners where you never felt it before? Maybe you've always been comfortable speaking your mind, yet suddenly your voice shakes when you try to express a deeper truth. Or perhaps you used to handle stress with ease, but lately even small triggers make your heart pound. This surge of anxiety isn't a random setback. It's the fourth hidden warning. Your soul is preparing to grow, and fear arises as a last-ditch attempt to keep you from stepping into the unknown. You might think that fear signals you should abandon your pursuit, but in reality, fear often shows up when you're on the cusp of significant transformation. It wants to anchor you to the version of yourself that is safe and predictable. When these unexpected worries surface, it's a sign that your old ways of coping no longer suffice. Like a snake shedding its skin, you are discarding the constraints that once defined you. The process is raw, uncomfortable, and essential. Some days you may wonder if you're losing your grip, as if your world is tilting on its axis, and you're scrambling for balance. But take a moment to remember, you prayed for growth, you prayed for truth, and you asked for the path to reveal itself. This is what revelation looks like. It stirs up everything you've kept hidden, offering you a chance to face what you tried to outrun. You're not regressing, you're being prepared for a greater test of courage. The intensity of your fear correlates with the magnitude of the breakthrough awaiting you. It's easy to feel shame about these new vulnerabilities, to hide them from friends and family who might not understand the turmoil raging beneath your calm exterior. But embracing this discomfort is how you break free. Each wave of fear is a fiery messenger, challenging you to stand your ground. When your heart races at the thought of stepping into your next role, let that adrenaline sharpen your mind. Let it remind you that fear is the shadow side of your growing power. Use every tremor of unease as fuel for your resolve. Let it push you to develop new coping skills, new depths of self-awareness, and new ways to harness your inner strength. The choice before you is clear: run or rise. Whichever path you choose will shape the next chapters of your story. The fear is here not to paralyze you, but to highlight exactly where your courage needs to flourish. So meet this hidden warning with an open heart, recognizing that behind the quiver in your soul lies the unstoppable potential you've been reaching for all along. Chapter 5. Sacred Longing for Solitude. A strange craving for solitude might have seized you lately. Even among friends, you find yourself withdrawing into the quiet corners of your mind. You wake earlier or stay up later just to sit in the stillness that reveals truths you can't access in the bustle of daily life. This longing for alone time is your fifth hidden warning. The world's noise can no longer mask the important messages rising from within. In solitude, you hear the sound of your own breathing, the gentle pulsing of your heart. The distractions fade, leaving you face to face with the voice you most need to heed: your own. Sometimes this solitude feels like a refuge, a safe haven where you can sort through the chaos and clarify what truly matters. Other times it confronts you with the weight of your unresolved emotions, forcing you to confront wounds and regrets you've carried for too long. If you find yourself drawn to this hush, it is no accident. You're being invited to a sacred meeting with your soul, one that demands the utmost honesty. Of course, those around you might misunderstand this sudden shift. They could worry you're becoming distant or losing interest in things you once enjoyed. But your solitude isn't a rejection of them. It's an affirmation of something deeper, an understanding that before you can bravely step into the next phase, you must integrate all the fragments of your being. In the quiet, your mind might race with memories, regrets, or plans for the future. Don't resist these mental wanderings. Observe them as if they are clouds passing across the sky of your consciousness. Solitude can be both uncomfortable and liberating. It strips away the roles you play in your public life: friend, partner, worker, caretaker, and lays bare the essential you, the one who existed before titles and obligations. You might discover raw truths about your purpose, passions, and the people or environments that no longer resonate with who you're becoming. This can be unsettling, but it is precisely the type of disruption that sparks real, lasting change. Honor this. Mourning as a profound sign, your evolving spirit craves moments of quiet to fine-tune its frequency, to align itself with the call of destiny that keeps echoing in your heart. In these silent spaces, you'll remember what it means to be brave, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a sustained state of readiness. By giving yourself the gift of solitude, you prepare to re-emerge into the world sharper, stronger, and more committed to the path carved out for you as a true chosen one. Chapter 6. Insistent Urges to Speak Your Truth. Lately, you may feel words welling up inside you with an urgency that refuses to be contained. Perhaps you've noticed injustice around you, and your chest tightens until you voice your outrage. Or you find yourself, in casual conversation, blurting out insights you once would have kept hidden. This compulsion to speak out is the sixth hidden warning. You can no longer live behind a mask of polite silence. It's time to reclaim your voice. For a while, you might have rationalized your silence. Maybe you told yourself that people wouldn't understand, or you worried about making waves where calm waters were easier to navigate. But these days, swallowing your truth feels like choking on sand. Each time you try to stifle your thoughts, your body protests. Heart pounding, throat closing, energy draining. That's your innermost self rebelling, demanding that you honor what you know in your bones. As a chosen one, your voice is not just for you. It carries a resonance that can shift the landscape around you, encouraging others to question their own complacency. This hidden warning is about far more than simply offering your opinion. It's about aligning with the core of your being. When you speak from that place of raw authenticity, something electrifying happens. People who were asleep to their own potential begin to stir. Ideas that lived in the shadows finally see the light. Of course, raising your voice comes with risks. You might face backlash from those invested in the old ways who find your conviction threatening. But silence too carries a cost, a slow erosion of your spirit, until you no longer recognize the person staring back at you in the mirror. Bravery often demands that you step into discomfort, that you let truth burn away the fog of conformity. If you've felt those sudden surges of passion, that unstoppable urge to say what needs saying, don't hold back. Lean into it. Test your strength. Let each word become a stepping stone across the ravine that separates you from the reality you wish to create. This is not about winning arguments or proving points. It's about standing unshaken in your authentic power. In doing so, you fulfill one of the key roles of a chosen one, to be a living catalyst, sparking flames in all who hear the timbre of truth in your voice. Chapter 7. The Light Behind the Veil. There comes a moment when, despite all the chaos and upheaval in your life, you sense a quiet glow, a beacon shining from behind the veil of daily existence. This is the seventh hidden warning, and perhaps the most miraculous one, a subtle awareness that beyond your fears and uncertainties, a divine orchestration is at work, guiding you towards something luminous and utterly transformative. You might catch glimpses of this light when you least expect it. Maybe it breaks through in the final seconds before you drift off to sleep, or during a silent walk when the world around you seems to shimmer. It feels both comforting and exhilarating, like the gentle thrill of knowing a secret the rest of the world has yet to discover. This faint radiance is more than a pleasant daydream. It's an invitation to trust the unseen forces that have your back. If you can perceive even a flicker of this hidden glow, then you know deep down that you're not stumbling blindly. You're being guided toward your highest calling. This is where your courage is tested to its limit. It's one thing to sense divine possibility in fleeting moments of peace, and quite another to act on that conviction when the storms rage and everything looks bleak. Yet that is exactly what is required of you now. You are asked to believe in the promise of that light, to let it guide each step you take, even if the path ahead is dimly lit. Each act of faith fans the flame inside you, making it brighter, more tangible. And as that light grows, it exposes the illusions that once held you hostage. Remember that the veil you're peering through isn't as solid as it appears. With determination, you can tear away the barriers and step into the realm your spirit has always yearned for. This is not a final destination. It's a threshold opening up to an infinite horizon of truth. The illusions that once seemed unshakable now appear fragile, and the voice of fear that once controlled you loses its grip, replaced by the steady rhythm of your heart, perfectly aligned with the cosmic beat. Feel that rhythm deep in your bones. Let it reassure you that every hidden warning you've encountered isn't meant to frighten you into retreat, but to push you past the line where bravery becomes your new baseline. You stand on the edge now, the shimmering light ahead calling you forward. Will you answer its invitation? Your journey is far from over. It will only deepen, taking you through uncharted lands where miracles breathe life into every moment. And as you step beyond the veil, guided by that precious glow, you'll find that the one you've been sensing all along draws closer with every bold, unwavering step. As you hover between the known and the unknown, the light begins to reveal deeper layers of your own spirit. In quiet flashes, you may feel old wounds dissolving, replaced by an unshakable confidence rooted in something far beyond any single lifetime. It's as though every challenge you faced has been preparing you to hold this light, to stand firm in its brilliance, and to share that radiance with others who are still wandering in the dark. You begin to realize that every storm you've weathered, every heartbreak and trial, was a sacred journey leading you to this very moment. This revelation can feel like an awakening within an awakening, a profound understanding that nothing in the grand design is wasted. As your awareness expands, you start to sense the interconnected web of souls around you, those who have glimpsed the light, those on the cusp of seeing it, and even those who will awaken because of your example. The light you carry becomes a beacon for them too, illuminating paths of hope in places once thought unreachable. A simple conversation can ignite a spark in someone else's heart. A fleeting encounter can trigger a chain reaction of faith, compassion, and renewal. This is how the light spreads, through genuine sharing, heartfelt empathy, and the willingness to show up in one another's lives with true presence. Above all, the light behind the veil reminds you that every ending is also a new beginning. The threshold you cross today will lead to yet another veil in the future, each unveiling bringing deeper understanding and greater love. Embracing this truth shifts your perspective on every challenge. Instead of fearing the unknown, you begin to welcome each new revelation with wonder. And in that anticipation, you find joy that can outshine any remaining shadows. Where you once stood hesitantly at the edge, you now move forward in harmony with the cosmic pulse, confident that the luminous path before you is continually paved by your faith, courage, and the boundless grace that sustains you. Do you,